Homeowners just signed up for solar panels to escape the electric bill. And almost immediately, buyers, roofers, insurance companies started reacting like, wait, what exactly did you attach to this house? But by the way people are reacting to solar right now is where this starts getting really strange, because solar was sold like freedom. It was sold like the sun was finally going to join the household budget. Like every morning you could wake up and the sun comes out and says, hey, don't worry, I got PG&E today. And at first, man, that sounds beautiful. You put panels on the roof, the electric bill drops, the planet claps, and your neighbors look over the fence like, wow, Dave, you're living in the future. But what happens next? The paperwork shows up. The paperwork is not living in the future. The paperwork is living in a basement with a printer from 2007. And what's interesting is this. A lot of homeowners are starting to notice the same thing. The problem is not always the solar panel. The problem is the deal wrapped around that solar panel. Because one homeowner can say, solar was the best decision I ever made. Another homeowner might say, solar ruined my roof, complicated my sale, and now my house has a subscription service. And both people might be telling the truth. And that's the crazy part. Because solar is one of those things where the answer is always, it depends, which is the most annoying answer in real estate, maybe in life. Nobody wants to hear it depends. You want a clear yes or you want a clear no. You want a buy this or a don't buy that. But solar is like dating someone who seems amazing until you meet their family. I mean, the panel's nice. The contract has issues. The uncle's a little weird. The roof has opinions. The insurance company is already packing a suitcase. And now in 2026, the math is even more serious, because that federal 30% residential solar tax credit that helped people justify the cost is no longer available for new systems placed in service after the end of 2025. And that can change the conversation, because before, a salesperson could say, yes, this is expensive, but look at this tax credit. Now homeowners are looking at the quote like, where did that discount go? It's like walking into a restaurant during happy hour and the waiter says, happy hour has now ended. But you're like, I already sat down. He's like, exactly. That's why the guacamole is now $20. That's why solar can feel like now. It's the same panels, the same roof, the same salesperson, but less help from the government. And here's where homeowners get caught, because they don't always ask, does this make my house easier to own? They ask, will this lower my electric bill? And that question, it's just too small of a question, because the electric bill is only one room in the house. Solar can walk through the whole property like it owns the place. I mean, it touches the roof, it touches your insurance, it touches the resale, touches the buyer, the lender, the family member who 10 years from now is trying to sell the house and discovers there's a solar contract hiding in the drawer like a raccoon. Now, imagine you buy a house and you're excited. You survived the mortgage process. You gave the lender your bank statements, those tax returns, your blood type, your childhood diary, and a written apology for eating Chipotle twice in a week. And then you finally close. Congratulations. Then what happens? A solar salesperson knocks on the door. And he says the same thing. Congratulations on this new home. Would you like to save money? And that's how they get you. Because who says no to saving money? Nobody. That's like asking, would you like to breathe at a discount? Of course I do. But then the quote's like 40, 50, sometimes more than that. 40, 50,000 or some number that makes you look at the sun differently. You start staring at the sky like, are you really worth $40, $50, $60,000? And the salesperson says, hey, you know what? Don't worry. Your savings will offset the payment. And that sounds good until you realize you did not eliminate a bill. You just adopted a new one. And that's not really freedom, is it? That's like bill relocation, for lack of a better way of putting it. I mean, you moved the electric bill from one pocket to another pocket and gave it a 20-year lease. And some homeowners are realizing the offer was not the final number. The final number is the solar payment. the utility connection fee, the roof risk, the insurance question, the maintenance issue, and the resale problem. And this is where the roof gets dragged into the story, because panels don't just gently hover over your house like little eco-friendly angels. No, they get mounted, they get drilled, they get wired. I mean, your roof is up there like I thought my job was just to protect you from rain. And now suddenly your roof has become a technology platform. And that's a lot of responsibility for shingles. And if your roof is already older, now you've got a future problem sitting on the top of a present problem. Because one day a roofer is going to say, you need a new roof. That's inevitable. And then someone else is going to say, great, now you need to remove those solar panels. And then someone else is going to say, and reinstall the panels. And the homeowner says, I thought I was saving money here. But what ends up happening is the house says, you were briefly, in theory. And it kind of feels like joining a gym to get healthy and then hurting your back carrying the membership contract home. And a lot of people who are happiest with solar seem to have one thing in common. They own the system outright. They paid cash, they planned ahead, they had a newer roof on their house, they knew their utility rules, they understood the long-term math, and those people are not wrong. For them, solar can work very beautifully. Some people are getting tiny monthly electric bills. Some people with batteries are keeping power during outages. And some people are basically living like the power company is just a distant cousin they wave at to at holidays. But this is not the same as the average homeowner financing a rooftop system because a guy at Home Depot said, hey, your electric bill's too high. This is a different type of movie. One is about self-sufficiency. The other is a door-to-door financial thriller. And now it comes to the part where we have to talk about selling the house, because this is where solar gets very real. A buyer walks into a listing, they like the kitchen, they like the floors, the backyard. They're picturing a grill, a dog, maybe a little garden. And the agent says, oh, there's a solar lease. And then you can see the buyer's face change immediately, because buyers don't hear solar lease. They hear there's a roommate on the roof and he has paperwork. And in this market, buyers already have enough reasons to hesitate. I mean, mortgage rates are high. Insurance, it's still expensive. Taxes are high. Repairs can be scary. And at the end of the day, the last thing a buyer wants is to discover the roof has its own payment plan.